What is up, everyone? Hope everyone is doing great as always, and today I wanted to make a video on a topic that I think is kind of interesting, especially in the fighting game community, of what makes a move good versus what makes a move overpowered. Throughout the Tekken series, there have been many moves that people would say are overpowered, and Tekken 8 is not an exception to that rule. This game has had some really busted stuff since the launch of the game. Season 2 made some of it worse, and Season 3 hasn't really fixed a lot of it. So I wanted to go through and find some moves that I think are very good, and then maybe make like a criteria for what makes a move actually overpowered. So we're gonna look at some moves that are just very good, and then we're gonna look at some moves that are actually just completely busted. And we're gonna see like what actually makes something, because there's a lot of annoying stuff in this game, but it's a fighting game, so that's kind of like the nature of it. Like, you just gotta learn the opponent's annoying stuff to be able to beat them. But there is a lot of jank in this game. So where I wanted to start is like, what's a move that could be arguably the best move in the game, except people wouldn't say is overpowered. And that's the electric, okay? So the electric is one of the most iconic moves in Tekken history. Input as forward, neutral, down, forward, 2, and you get the electric input if you get 2 and down, forward at the same frame. And this move is +5 on block. And then on normal hit and counter hit, it's a full launcher. So, how is a move like this +5 on block? That's crazy if it's a launcher. Well, let me tell you. In Tekken, I would say, in general, a move has to have 3 properties to make it, like, overpowered. The first one would be, it has to be mid. And why is making a move mid, like, part of what makes it overpowered? I would say it's because you cannot duck mids in this game. So I'm sure people know this, but highs you can duck underneath, lows you can duck to like crouch block them, but mids you have to block standing. So hypothetically, you can duck under this and avoid the +5 and the launch. The next property I would argue a move needs to have to be completely overpowered is tracking. And what do I mean by this? So in Tekken, there's lateral movement. Like, you can move into the foreground and the background, meaning that you can sidestep buttons. So with electrics, for example, you can sidestep them. It is difficult. That's why characters with this move tend to have wave dashes, because what a wave dash does is since you press forward for your input, it realigns. So if someone is to step, you will like kind of follow them. So although this move doesn't have tracking on its own, even though it's got kind of a big hitbox, it can be realigned. But the move itself in a vacuum does not have tracking. So that's the next part why this isn't overpowered. So like, let's look at a move that Heihachi has that is a homing mid, his up forward 4. This is a homing mid, so isn't that 2/3 of the way there to being like overpowered? And I would argue the next thing to make a move truly overpowered is it's got to be plus on block. So like a homing plus on block mid. As you can see, this move, Heihachi's up forward 4, which is a homing mid, is -9. So he pretty much gives up his entire turn if he wants to use this. And he does have the follow-up, which is +2, but everyone's got some busted shit in heat, and I wouldn't say like him getting +2 off of this and using like 1/3 of his heat bar makes this move like really busted. So in a vacuum, this move isn't that great. But this move, electric, is known as one of the best moves in the game, but it doesn't have 2 of the properties. And I mean, this move is very fast, it has minimal whiff recovery, so you know what, maybe that's what makes it great. But people wouldn't really say that this move is overpowered, because A, it's a high skill move to use. Like, if you mess this up, you're -10. Like, if you don't get the perfect input. So Perfect input gives you +5. If not, you're -10. So you could get a 1-1-2 punish if you're a Mishima or a 10 frame. Then yeah, like I said before, this move isn't really homing, but if you're a good player, you can wave dash and it's kind of homing, but still it's a high. So if you really want to gamble, you can duck. And I mean, like, I think ducking an electric in some cases is fine because like the Mishima mix-up is wave dash into hell sweep, and hell sweep is minus, what is that, 23? And I mean, he does have a mid that he could wave dash into, but for the most part, there is counterplay to this move, and it's a high skill move. So people wouldn't really say electric is overpowered, but it is like up there with like best moves in the game. Okay, so now I want to get into a character who has had some busted moves and still does have some busted moves. So going back to my point about moves that are kind of overpowered and what the criteria is. So what, like homing plus frame mid. Let me show you Dragunov's quarter circle forward 4. Now this move has been nerfed a great amount. Still very good. You don't see it as much because he's got some other good moves that I'll get into, but this move was pretty much homing at the start. This move, it's like a hatchet kick, or not a hatchet, like this overhead heel thing, and this would hit people if they were laying on the ground. It would wall splat them. Like, what wouldn't this? It would do your taxes. It gives you +7. Like, +7 is a lot of frames to have, and I mean, especially if you're somewhere like at the wall. It has pushback now. It used to not have pushback, and this thing, if it hit you against the wall, it used to give you a wall splat, and then Dragunov has like the dumb wall combo. I main this guy, by the way, so I still think it's stupid, but I think it's funny. So they nerfed this move, right? So now it doesn't even give knockdown anymore. It doesn't wall splat. It gives you +7, but like, look at how far you are. It does leave you in crouch, so you could go for the full crouch mix, which is pretty good. But like, while standing 2 whiffs from this range, so really, like, this move, I'm not gonna lie, Dragunov's his full crouch 1-4 is really annoying to deal with. I can't lie, but like, I guess that's kind of all he gets from it now. +7 is still great to have because then it sets up stuff like this and it makes it a lot tougher to sidestep and stuff like that. But this move has been nerfed, and now you don't see people just spamming this move in tournament, even though Dragunov is still a popular tournament character. What's a move that Drag has now that is overpowered? Which, ironically, I feel like doesn't tick some of the boxes. He has 1-2-1, his G-Clef. Heat Engager. Counter hit confirmable. What does counter hit confirmable mean? So 1-2 is -9 on block by itself, right? Maybe it's still pretty good. But if the Dragunov player is good, and I'm not that good, but in pro play this has to be factored in because people have the stats to back this up. If you either know that they're gonna press and you read, you can do the 2 or the 1, the final 1 of 1-2-1 delayed, so that you can confirm that it hit. So like, a good player, if Kazuya blocks this, they just do 1-2. But if they see that Kazuya was mid button, like, they Twitch confirm it, or they see, do you see there's like a red spark? If they see the red spark going, they'll finish the string, and it's a heat engager. It leaves you, what does heat engage give you? +9. So you can do whatever you want. Now, Danny, how come this move is overpowered? It's not even homing, even though it kind of is. This thing has like stupid tracking. As a Dragunov player who uses this move quite frequently, this move has stupid tracking. If you sidewalk, Dragunov, like, he'll like 180 you for this move, but it's funny, so it's okay. So it's basically homing, but Danny, it starts with a high. Well, the second hits a mid, so like, and the third hits a mid, so there's no duck in this thing, so it may as well be a mid string. Like, no one's ducking the first high and launching it. And then the third thing is take a look where we are. He gets wall splat from like 2 meters away for full wall combo into the annoying Dragunov Oki. We didn't say something had to wall splat before to make it overpowered, but like, that's a pretty absurd wall splat for a fucking 10 frame string, right? And then he gets this into a wall Oki. And for some reason in Season 2, they gave Drag like one of the best wall Okis in the game, in my opinion. But it's funny because I made him. So like, looking at this, you'd be like, oh wow, I could see why that's strong. But like, is it really that strong? Because like, I mean, it is a heat engager. If he gets this on counter hit in heat, he doesn't get a combo, he just gets the follow up. Still wall splats though, even if you don't get the heat engage. The only way it doesn't wall splat is if you dash out of it. And if you finish it, it's -14. So like, Brian can jet upper this. Really good Mishima players might be able to electric this, even though maybe that's only happened to me once or twice before. But why this is like super overpowered is if you watch pro play, like specifically Atif, I think, who was in Season 2 at like EWC or something. He played Dragunov, and he, in a match, he used 1-2. He used 1-2 like 35 times, and he had like a 90% like hit confirm rate. Like, he only did the 1 at the end for the full string if he knew it was gonna hit. So good players, they're watching every single time they press 1-2 that shit has to like connect. Now, the last thing that I kind of wanted to cover in terms of what makes moves overpowered is like, in the context of their specific moveset, is this move like overpowered? Because, you know, like on paper, something might not be overpowered because like, it's like whatever in a vacuum. But then if you think about the context of the other moves in their moveset, this shit could be like stupid. So I want to take King. And everyone knows that he has some really dumb stuff, especially in Season 3. He has dumb stuff anyways, but everyone knows King as the grappler. So he's got Shining Wizard, which is his running throw that has a 1+2 break. And then he also has Giant Swing, which is a 1 break. Both of these look like... These throws look the same to do, okay? So like, you have to guess. Now, oh Danny, they're just throws, and you just gotta break them on reaction, and that's fine. And I mean, like, the King thing is still fine. It's kind of tough to hide a Giant Swing if someone's running at you like that. But what are the counter plays to throws? Okay, so traditionally you can sidestep. Throws are not homing. They were when this game first came out and everyone hated it, so they patched that pretty quick. The next thing is, which I would not recommend, but a lot of beginner and intermediate players will do this, they'll just duck, because then they can get like some sort of while standing launcher or whatever. But what if I told you that in the context of someone's moveset, this can be overpowered? So like, for example, in heat, you know how we said throws aren't homing and you could sidestep them? Well, if someone's running at you, they're kind of constantly realigning. So Shining Wizard kind of will hit if they're running at you anyways. But if I pop heat and I do King's Giant Swing, those are homing trails on it, right? So he gets a homing Giant Swing, and he gets homing Shining Wizard in heat. Homing trails on the throws. Okay, so you can't sidestep them. We could just duck the throws if we don't want to guess. Well, King's got a hop kick, by the way. And I mean, he's also got some other like really dumb mids, like stuff like that. But so in Heat, King has like a bunch of stuff to threaten you with because the context of his moveset is really overwhelming. So in Heat, King pops Heat and he starts running at you. You either want to duck to not have to take the throw mix, and I guess you could try to challenge him, but if he starts doing Jaguar Sprint, this shit's fucking armored in Heat, right? And then he also has like, he has an RKO out of that. So like, what do? You just eat the mix? Like, so I'm not saying here that King's hop kick is overpowered, because it's not. It's just like a hop kick. But his throws, I mean, no one should really have homing throws in the first place, but his throws become extra potent in a situation where half of the counterplay of them just doesn't work. So that you pretty much, you're not only guessing like a two-way throw mix-up, you're guessing like a high-mid mix-up, essentially. And it's really dumb. This is kind of like the problem with this game, that like no one wants to have to be forced into 50-50s that characters shouldn't really have. So that's my thing about what makes a move overpowered. I hope everyone liked the video. Make sure to like the video, make sure to drop a comment, and use code QORcast on your QOR Gaming order for 10% off your order. And I will see you guys on the podcast or in the next one.